need that type of view. A couple of the concepts we're looking for here is adding a sand volleyball court outside the fenced-in area, creating a lawn area that's more kid-friendly because I know we're getting more kids in here, that type of thing. A hammock area in that same gym facility, just relaxation area. We're looking at adding another pavilion up in this area, general area up in here. That would supplement the terrace that we have out here right now. So adults can be on one area, kids can be in another area, or it can be adults there, kids here. It varies. Maybe you're having an activity, a group of people coming in, and while the rest of the communities in one area that could be designated as a birthday party pavilion, something of that nature. But we're in that. We're looking at possibly that where might be TVs on the wall, some grills, and some extra seating in that vicinity. And we'll talk about some other ideas of where some grills could be. We're looking at adding more paving around that pavilion, adding more tables and umbrellas around the entire pool complex in the hammock area. And then one other thing we were looking at that kind of came up is down on the existing dock. Maybe there's an opportunity for what I call a paddle harbor, so that we have the lake, but it's tough to use. Maybe this is a place where you can pull up a canoe. So if you want to come from your house on the lake, instead of driving here, you can bring a paddle up canoe, and that's a destination where you can get in and out easier from the water.
That's part of our sanitation treatment system.
I think we can work. I mean, we're not going to be swimming in it. We'll work around it. An alligator. Gotta keep you company. Okay. The other option is the Bayfront Park is what we're considering this. This is down in the existing marina area. We're going to talk about two different areas in there. We're going to talk about the Bayfront, and we're going to talk about this general vicinity right past it. Here's what we're looking at. Here's the gazebo. We're looking at creating kind of a dry bar area down there. This would be a dry, what I'm calling a dry bar, just a countertop with seating around it, with covering over it. So it's a place to gather. Right now, there's just the deck, and there's benches in the corners. So how can we increase the usability of that space? We're also looking at outside of there. What else can we add as amenities in that general vicinity? One issue we have is we know the next one, right? Go back one. So what we're looking at in this vicinity, we'll get into these other things, is how do we increase? We're going to bring people down to where we park. Where do we get the opportunity to park? So what we're looking at doing is at the one lift station area in here, see if we can add some parking along the side of the road. So when you come down there, you'll have a place to park other than in the cul-de-sac in front of somebody's house. You can park there, then walk down and drop somebody off at the cooler and then dock, then come in here, come to a place to park. One of the things from the other start you saw, what we're looking at doing is enhancing or trying to do a little better screening of all the lift stations that are speckled throughout the community. Great. The sewer treatment plant, one of the things from a standpoint of where I'm coming from, the first thing you see when you're coming into Summerhouse is the backside of the sewer treatment plant. So very excited there. So what we're looking at doing is supplementing that landscape. There's been a little bit of an attempt to try and get started with that. We're looking at putting a concerted effort in making that a more a stronger barrier, so that again you're not looking at that the first thing you come to Summerhouse. You're not looking, that's a sewer treatment. You get to enjoy the entrances because they're designed to see. That kind of got us into phase one. Again, the concepts would be changed, would be done away with. Phase two is we're looking into some other areas. One is a vision of the community garden and enhancing what's out there right now.
Tim, did you skip over the boat storage security? I see that on my agenda, we didn't address that.
Pardon me?
I see that on the agenda, boat storage security. Did you skip over that part on page 1?
The fence, the gate from the
Okay, that's coming up.
Okay.
The other security's coming up, okay. What we're looking at doing is fencing off the facility, making it a more defined location, adding more lots, similar to what we saw, the raised beds, adding a garden shed, finding parking, being able to start creating that community garden feel concept. We've had a lot of success in communities similar to that. It becomes a place where people can put their vegetables out, people contribute. If they're not a gardener, they contribute some funds. Those funds go back into making, allowing people to, giving funds to the garden community to have additional equipment, good things, moving forward, helping finance some of the expenses that go through in watering to basically make it self-sustaining. This one's where we're looking at making a fairly major investment. This is down at the existing recreation facility, using existing tennis court and playground. A couple of things we've been seeing happening in communities is pickleball is becoming preferred over tennis. It's easier on the knees, there's not quite so much running. So we're looking at the concept of adding more pickleball courts. We have expanded the area for an off-leash dog park in that area. Building a tennis pavilion, so that there's a place to kind of get out of there and have the sun work both for the tennis center, the tennis courts, and pickleball. Possibly expanding the playground facility as the need arises. And then finally, one thing we're seeing is in time, the idea of where parking for the clubs become limited. So this is a concept of adding additional parking near this facility that's close to the clubhouse. We've been looking in the past, we've found this to be something that's a lot of communities are going this route because it gives them an opportunity in other gatherings. What we're looking at doing is reworking the existing clubhouse gazebo that's on the facility, taking the picnic table out of there and creating a somewhat of an amphitheater. This would be for concerts, basically for the homeowners. It's not necessarily bringing in large crowds, but something like combos or bluegrass band or something of that nature. So if there's another activity area. And this is close to the last one. The Kings Creek Road entrance. We're looking at coming in on this side. We have the entrance on coming into the community next to the community garden boat storage, creating a gated facility to control access down to Kings Creek Road.
Tim, I apologize, but I still didn't hear anything about boat storage or security.
Okay. So the boat storage area was, the security element that we're talking about. This is the gate. The security we're talking about here is providing gated access down to Kings Creek Road.
But that's not the boat storage. The boat storage is the other way. Yeah, so it's wrong.
We could be before, after boat storage, or before boat storage. Either way, we know we have control over the boat storage. So The issue we have in any instance on, is stacking distance. Lots of times there's requirements that you, off of the main road, when you turn in before you hit a gate, there's some distance, usually it's 200 feet before you can put a gate. So this gate can move, or it can just be controlling the boat storage. I'm happy for your suggestions. These are concepts. If there are additional concepts, what I'll do is we'll have a couple of these out there, and then I'll write down what your additional, like, we don't need protection here, we need security at the boat launching ring.
And boat security is at the top of your list, not a correct question on the survey, right at the bottom. Boat security is the most important thing.
It's not a big security, you got a boat, you can't do it.
Yeah, on boat ramps we can all use it. Top of a lot of people's list, I'm sure.
Again, I'll have a piece of paper, and I'll write down, I'm open for anything, I'll write down your questions and your concerns, and we'll get those back into the, I'm gonna turn it over to Anna right now. You.
Hey, I'm Anna Norris, and what I do is I'm a renovation company. So I do large-scale renovations, mostly residential, where we basically gut houses and start afresh, which is a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this project because it's really just the fun part at the end where you get to decorate it, and not a whole lot of hard work. So I'm looking forward to this. As I've been thinking through what I think are the best options for you guys, please know that I'm a mom. I have 2 little kids. My mind is set on that direction, and I know that that's not a lot of the neighborhood. There's so many different families here, so many different types of people, and so I've tried really hard to incorporate something that everyone is going to love. With this many people, it's going to be really difficult, but I think we have such a big space here to work with. I think it's very feasible to make something that everyone's going to be really happy with. So I really look forward to getting your feedback to make sure that we're hitting every single type of family that lives in this neighborhood. So I am really excited about that. It's been kind of hard to think about what you want, so I do want to know exactly what you guys want out of this. So I'll give you my presentation first. So the most important thing that I thought would happen is to make this place more user-friendly. I want to make sure that people don't feel like they can't come into the clubhouse when they're hanging out at the pool. They can't let kids run in here. They can't come in and sit and hang out and get out of the sun, for example. So when Craig told me about the floors being damaged during the storm, my first thought was, let's not replace it with hardwood floors. Hardwood floors get damaged. That's why we're having the problem we have now. There's so many new luxury vinyl plank floors that are out there now. And really, really high usage. I'm using them in inexpensive homes. I'm using them in very, very expensive homes. Probably 90% of the customers I deal with now are using these LVP floors because they're water resistant, they're scratch resistant, they're a lot more durable. That way when people are coming in and out, we don't have to worry about getting messed up in the future. It's not going to be something that has to be replaced like a hardwood floor will be. And I actually brought some samples of a couple of the flooring options that I'm thinking about if you want to look at those and kind of feel them and talk about what they're like later. But the biggest thing was the durability. And secondly, all the fabric in here. The furniture, there was a lot of glass sitting around and vases sitting around and fabric that was not necessarily user-friendly and traffic-friendly. So I'd really love to change all the fabrics in here to a perennial fabric, and indoor-outdoor, so that when you come in, you can sit down and not worry about the stain, not worry about getting something a little bit damp, and really just make it comfortable. The whole point is for you to use this place. What is the point if you can't use it? So we want to make, that's the biggest priority here, I think, for everyone. And then it's kind of hard to see colors on here the way I have it, but just for concept, I know you've got Summerhouse. It's all about the beach. It's all about boating. It's all about the water. So we want to keep that theme in here, but I kind of want to try to get out some of the 90s beach house and make it a little bit more modern, but keeping that nautical feel, because that's what the community's about. So updating it a little bit, and that is a very subjective thing, so that's a little bit hard to do, but updating it maybe with a lot of navy, a lot of sand colors, a lot of just a little more modern, but not too modern. There's a lot of different tastes, so we can't go too far in any extreme on style. So we're thinking, you know, a lot of the Navy cabinets are happening right now. If you look at any of the magazines, you know, the Navy pillows and throws and stuff like that. So I want to just take what you have bones here and update it. These are also really, really hard to see, so I'd love to be able to send this out to everybody. And again, these are my hand sketches of some of the space planning, so forgive if they're not perfect. They are to scale, but it is just me drawing. The thing that I think has made the biggest impact on usability is the kitchen area in the back. That is such a great big space. And I don't know, I mean, I know that's used quite a bit, but I think it could be used a lot more as a really nice hangout space. So the first thing I would want to do is totally replace the kitchen. The kitchen location is great, but it's just a little bit outdated, and so I'd love to just tear it out and do something really, really nice there. I'll show you some pictures of examples in a minute. Have a nice big island as opposed to that little table there, so you can actually sit around, have a bunch of chairs at the island, someone could be behind the bar making drinks, and more of a hangout space. Turn the dining table, again, since it's such a big space there, turn the dining table lengthwise so we have more seating in there, and then putting an actual nice seating area in the front with some of that perennial fabric, couches, make it comfortable, and then a really large TV with a really good sound system, basically. This would be like a sports bar place to have your Super Bowl parties and so forth. And then, go to the next slide. So these are just examples of kitchen, just what I mean by a little bit more updated. Just some little cleaner lines, a little more updated fixtures. This is actually to scale for the kitchen in here of what I had planned for the cabinetry. Not really big, but I don't think you need it to be really big. You do have a microwave, trash can, so you can actually not have trash sitting around the room party. Refrigerator seat, glass cabinets, and I would want to stock it with glasses, wine glasses, drink glasses. Have it ready for you to come in and be able to use at any time. And then just some more examples of updated fixtures. And then again, back to the premium fabric, nice big couches. This actually is an outdoor couch. They're really comfortable, but they're outdoor. So you get the indoors feel, but you don't have to worry about it as much. Just again, updated everything with coffee tables, chairs, dining room table, updated light fixtures. One thing that I would love to do is change every light fixture, do a lot more recessed lights, and just really update. Because there's so many hanging fixtures everywhere. Kind of just clean it up a little bit and update all the fixtures. So here's some just examples. A lot of wood. I want to make sure it gets warmer as opposed to some of the stark colors. Just warming everything up a little bit with putting some wood around. And again, large TV for sports games, sound system. And then this is just a concept that came from somebody else actually. Not sure exactly what to do with it yet, but it's something to throw out there. Around the television, if we have a big wall that you have built-ins around, you have to do some sort of built-in around the TV or it's going to look kind of hanging out there. I've seen communities that have storage lockers where people in the community are able to have a little locker where they can leave their stuff, like a drink locker or something like that. So maybe we could use it as an instead of doing built-ins, we could actually have lockers on that wall and have a TV in the middle of it. So you can come and leave your stuff. So if you want to come on Tuesday night and have a wine night, you've already got your stuff here. Maybe that's a place for it, maybe it's not, maybe it's somewhere different in the clubhouse, but that's something to throw around to you where you have a storage space here in the clubhouse. And then across the hall, where the current offices, or the offices have been, I was thinking about more of a cafe, like an all-day cafe. So somewhere people can come in, get a coffee in the morning, have some tea in the morning, grab a newspaper, maybe Saturday mornings have buffet, like muffins or something like that. I know a lot of apartment complexes in town that have big amenities. They'll have a big breakfast right on Saturday morning, but a place where you can come and hang out and sit. Warming up the fireplace again, and over here, you've got enough space in here to have comfortable seating, a television in there potentially. This is more of a sports bar across the hall, a little more of a calm space with maybe news, newspapers, books, a book exchange where you can come and take a book and leave a book, kind of a library for the neighborhood as well. And then you have a lot of space on the sidewalls to do built-in benches to have some cafe seating. So if you have a friend you want to come and sit and have coffee, you have a place to sit and talk just like you would if you had a coffee shop nearby. A lot of neighborhoods are doing coffee shops, so it'd be kind of a coffee shop within the neighborhood. Just some more ideas for the coffee station here. One wall would be this full built-in with television, an actual coffee bar with a refrigerator, a little trash pulled out, and then again the books. So the bookshelves on this side, refrigerator, and so forth. And this is just an idea of furniture and style for that place. Again, warming it up a little bit with the benches under the windows, make it nice and sunny, some bistro tables, some little chairs, and again a couch. And just this is more of a decor image-wise. And then in this area, same idea. I want to keep each room a little bit different, but you want to carry the theme throughout. The perennial fabric's a little bit bigger seating. There's such a huge space here before, as opposed to 2 small couches. I think there's a couple of little tables. Having some really nice, big, comfortable seating areas in here to come in and hang out. You've got enough to do several couches throughout. You have some nice seating areas. And then the one thing that one thing I really love to see in here, let me skip to this, the fireplace. This fireplace here, I think is, well, it's massive, but the actual fireplace is really, really small, and I think the scale is just really off and kind of cold. So I'd love to be able to make the fireplace much, much bigger, like a workable gas fireplace that can actually, really be used, come in and flip it on. There's a lot of, hotels that have these massive fireplaces. I'm working on the schematics right now to get a fireplace company out here and ideally make a 2-sided fireplace out of it. So when you walk in the doors on the other side, you're not staring straight at the big wall, but opening the whole thing up into a great big, nice 2-sided fireplace. And I think it would really change the ambiance and the class of the space. And then under these 2 cubbies here, these spaces back here are, they're still really big, even though they're little cubbies under the stairs, they're still nice, usable spaces that I think we could set aside for something a little bit different. And the way I have everything planned this is just my assumption from what I'm hearing, so tell me if I'm wrong, but assuming that the kids kind of hang out on this side a little bit, the adults kind of hang out on this side a little bit, and they don't want the noise even with the kids. And so making 2 little spaces for people to come in from the outside. So on this side, doing the full wall of built-ins, angled down on the stairs, putting some little chaise lounges and stuff in front of it, and having a station for the kids and families to come in from the pool, read a book, color, work a puzzle, play a game, come and just get out of the sun for a little while. And then the same thing on this side, more adult-friendly, with card games, magazines, books, just more, I was thinking card games, puzzles, things like that. So if you want to stay at the pool all day, but you want to come in for a minute, just get out of the sun, cool down, read a book, you have a place to come in and sit down. And with the LVP floors that are waterproof, you could do that and not have to worry about getting everything messed up. And then the pavilion, so straight outside under the cupboard. Really, it's just about updating. There's a ton of space out there, and there's a lot of furniture. It's really cramped right now. So I'd love to open it up with some outdoor seating, comfortable outdoor seating, big sectionals, as well as fire pits, some high top tables out there, so that you can see over the wall, because you have such a great view of the pool from there. If you have people in the pool and family in the pool, you can sit up there and still see everything. So we want to make sure that line of sight is still there. And just soften it up with draperies and things like that potentially. And then, not under the pavilion, but over to the sides, on the right and on the left side, you have some space that's not covered, where you've got the rock walls that come around with the walk-ins. I'd love to use the space that's already there and build in some grills into the rock walls. So if you build the grill on this side and then build a concrete bar, something like that on the other side, so you can't touch the grill necessarily, but you actually have a high top bar. You have a grill, so you can come out, bring your burgers and sit, and then you have tables to sit in, you can still see the pool. I think that could be just a really great hub of activities. Bring your party to the pool and be able to see everybody. And then also, in the other outdoor spaces, along both sides of the clubhouse, there's some other covered areas, and I think it'd be really nice to have some activities. So when you're at the pool, you also can walk up inside under the cover and play ping pong or foosball. These are all outdoor rated items that can be under covers, and so it'd be nice to have some little things like that scattered around the clubhouse while you're hanging out. And then Tim touched touched on this a little bit. There's a couple ideas running around about the grassy area out here beside the pool. A little more activity going on. A gazebo maybe with a large fireplace that you can turn on and use. But maybe just a place to house some games. So when you come to the pool, you can play beanbag toss. You can play the big Jengas. You can do bocce balls. You have a place where all that stuff is already sitting, so you can actually be engaged in the pool with your family and your friends. Yep, and I think that's it. So let me know any other ideas you have, and we will go from there. Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen. She's got a lot of nice ideas, and Tim has a lot of nice ideas about the community itself. We're excited about the opportunities. You can see the first priority is really in phase one is the clubhouse and the surrounding area of the clubhouse. The new games, the new areas, new covered structure outside, and then all the things Anna's talking about in here. Probably the second priority in phase one is, of course, the data. And that's something that really came from what we used to call the resident task force. It was where that idea started. And then you see a lot of other ideas. With the approximate $900,000 we have to invest based on my analysis, we can do the vast majority of it, but not all of it. That's why we need you to tell us what's important. If we miss something, tell us. If it's boat storage, security, write it on your list as your number one priority. If it's your number three priority, tell us that. Somewhere in the electronic survey, or if you don't have adequate space to write that up, write a note and turn it into the sales office. We're going to accumulate all of this. So we're excited about it. I couldn't hear the question.
Do you have time frames and money for the different phases?
Yeah, we did a presentation at the beginning. You might not have been here. We've got approximately $900,000 of excess operating cash. We've got estimates that these things can cost around $1 million to $1.1 million. So I say we can do the vast majority of it. And depending on exactly what final, we don't have any quotes on it yet because we didn't want to get ahead of ourselves. But we can do most of it, but not all of it. That's why we need some priorities. We're going to, so that we can answer as many of your questions as possible from as many of you as possible. We're going to divide up now. Wilson and I will be up here. Maybe Tim will come down here. We feel like the best way to do it. We've had people who've told us that they don't like to stand up in front of others. You can come around to every station and talk to every person, and we can hear your feedback. And the majority of the best part of the feedback is the survey. So we're going to do it that way. Otherwise, we could be here all night.
But what you guys want to do at your station, when we come and ask those questions, you need to write those questions down and answer them.
That's a good
Share
point.
the feedback back to us. So that
There's obviously people that are not intimidated to stand up.
Tonight, remember, we said this was going to be a presentation, and that's the way we're going to handle it.
We have 56 minutes to ask questions, and we're still under the time that we allotted for this meeting.
We're going to break up the stations, and you can come around and speak to each person. So, once again, over here.